Hey guys, how are we today? It's Juicy Saft, and welcome to something I haven't done in a long time. It's getting over it with Bennett Foddy. Now, I know that many people have been subscribed to me for quite a while, and this is something that most people aren't really paying attention to. But I use Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, a game that's supposed to, beget frustration and defeat to just talk about my feelings about things, more serious topics and things like that. Nothing, nothing too drastic. But I've used this. It actually gave me a friendship with one of my friends, Kai. Um, one of the things I also sent him a message as well, just trying to talk to him about stuff. And I just use this, and I miss it. I genuinely do. I just genuinely miss playing this game. Oh, I guess I'm back over here. Well, whatever. It was supposed to save me up anyway, but this... Oh my goodness, it has been a while. I need to remember how to play this. Or rather, remember exactly how much. Anyway, this is just going to be playing in the background, I guess, to help ground me so I can start thinking a little bit harder about everything I want to talk about. But I guess, okay, so I'll just start with this. I do want to start doing this again, playing games on this channel, just because it's something I enjoy. And that's actually the topic that's going to be about for this video, is rather how everybody lives for other people, I feel like. And that's what I have a problem with, is that, not really that I have a problem with it, just that I've seen... Ooh. Okay, I'll go ahead and start that again. Almost. And nope, didn't get it. Okay. Um, I have been not in a rut, just a center of apathy overall, because I don't know of any concrete, or not concrete, but rather tangible avenues to go from here. I'm at the point where my account has been banned from TikTok. I am not as active on any platform except Twitter now. I have not been posting or posting any updates to my year change progress, which I'm still doing, just on my own time. But that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Is that who should you live for, and why do you do the things that you do, and the importance of not of choosing not to do the things because of how they'll increase your status with other people. Whoop. And instead doing them because they align with your ideals and they align with who you want to be. I have felt dejected, from posting, because I don't want to disappoint people, because I know that I have a service to entertain, or rather, that is what I want to do. So I want to make sure that people are feeling entertained while I do the things I do, and not knowing how to do that in full capacity. I always tell myself, well, if it was just like this, if I just had a little bit more of this, and if I just had for instance, when I worked at my job in a restaurant, that was about, a couple of months ago, I always used to tell myself the entire time of working there and throughout my experience over the year of TikTok, that if I just had a little bit more time, I could devote more time to Twitch, I could devote more time to YouTube, and I could make something of it. And I've had nothing but time since leaving my job. The whole reason why I quit my job was because I wanted to, get more into this and get more into entertaining and find a new job when needed, if needed, and rather enjoy myself instead of, feeling like I slaved away. But what's happened is that I've actually become complicit in the life that I've had now, which is just waking up and Another day. Not, and this isn't anything sad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this in a sad, depressed kind of, oh, what has my life become or anything like that. I enjoy my life and I enjoy what I am, but it's been a long time. I've lived my entire life. The entire reason why I got into comedy is because I wanted people to stop bullying me. I thought if you were, I didn't have much confidence with my looks, you know. So, and being the new kid in every school, I thought, oh well, if I'm funny, then the funny guy isn't hated. The funny guy won't be bullied. So I'll at least have that going for me, and that'll stop any kind of ill feelings that I just couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what was wrong about me that made people, you know. And I've learned that it's just because human beings are awful, vile creatures, and you know, not really. They're not that. It's just that people lack self-reflection and they don't really care about anything except it's a selfish creature we are, you know. And that's because even though we are, capable of free thought and capable of thinking, abstractly, that does not override our own animalistic nature of self-preservation. It's not that human nature is in itself selfish. It's just that that's the goal of any other animal, is to provide for themselves and provide for any family that they might have, any children. Ooh, that was an accident. Ooh, oh well. This is annoying. Yeah. Anyway, I am a little bad at explaining things, but I've learned, okay, and that's exactly what I've learned, to try to get out of my own head. It's not like I know any answers. Nobody knows any answers, and I feel like the answers to anyone's life is that exactly what there's answers to only you would know, answers only you could possibly find. Nobody else is going to find them for you. Whoop. And whatever answers you do find, as long as they lead to a better you, a healthier you, and that's in reference to yourself, as well as how you treat others, because you don't live in a bubble. You can't say, well, as long as I'm good and that's all that matters. The answer to your life can't be, well, forget how I affect, because if you exist in the environment around you, if you exist in a tangible environment where other people, other separate entities live, you can't pretend that you're the only thing that matters. You do matter to you, and you are in a non-selfish manner, a non-like, oops, are the only thing that matter to you. Bare bones, just in your own life, that's all that should matter, is your own safety and the safety of things that you hold dear. However, how you affect the world around you does play a role into that happiness, whether you see it or not. And you can't, I think that the answer we should all seek, that should be a universal, regardless of what the truth of your life is a better understanding and better reflection of ourselves, and not living completely oblivious in that bubble, completely oblivious to, because that's just going to, if you can't see how you affect others and don't care how you affect others, then you won't care how you affect the people close to you. You won't care how you affect yourself. And, you'll just say, oh, well, oh, well, oh, well. You're no more better. You have no ability to self-govern, You have no ability to, I'm just going to say, if you exist around other people, you might as well try your best to don't be a dingus, basically, But I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I'm not your bill keeper, your tenant, whatever. No, I hope you aren't trying to. No landlords should be interacting with me. I'm not the ruler of your world, So this isn't take my advice and listen to me because I know anything about anything, nor would I want your opinion or advice on anything, including what I'm talking about now. Constructively, sure, feel free, but when it comes down to it, could I... Oop, I did get up there. Outside of that, you know, like, oh well, actually, this is what the meaning of life, and this is what this means. I'll tell you, no, not for me. But anyway, that being said, the reason why I'm saying making sure you're not living for other people is that what I've seen is the problem of the internet for me is that it is.
Games when they
Hmm?
wanted a lot from you, daunting you, taunting you, resetting and delaying you, and players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly. A quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless.
Hmm.
But that's not you, you're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat.
All right, thank you, Bennett Foddy. Yes. Anyway, that's actually why I play this game is because you know there's some philosophical elements to it, or at least that's what the game developer wanted to go for. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. So the problem with the internet is that it has opened up a conversation for everyone. Before you could live in that bubble, and the reason why there's been a absolute explosion of you shouldn't say this anymore, you shouldn't do that anymore, is because people have that conversation. They're able to talk to other people, and to be honest, that is good. Humans, it's actually how we can evolve closer to a eusocial society. At least that's what my personal belief. Uh, that the ultimate purpose of a species that's evolved in communities, that's what they should strive for. Any intelligent creature that absolutely cannot survive by itself, truly, like, to have a society by itself is what I'm saying. Yes, you could survive by yourself, but I'm saying you couldn't have a society all by yourself. You couldn't do every last thing all yourself. That my personal belief that the uh, purpose of our ultimate goal is a completely eusocial society where all the parts fit together and everyone is taken care of. Oh, oh, bring it in. You can agree or disagree. That's your own thing, but that's personal. That's just what I personally believe. Anyway, so why are you saying don't live for other people? I'm saying that your self worth and everything shouldn't be based on that. But anyway, so because of these conversations, because of all this talk, a lot of it has been, I'll be quite honest, losers. Absolute losers. We're all losers in some way or another, in some fashion, and desire to fit in, to, you know, be a part of something. And we want everyone to see our accomplishments and to tell, for everyone to say that, yep, we matter.
Most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you. Like a baby bird being fed
Nope,
cheap entertainment.
actually, it's just me.
That's culture too.
And this is the highest I've ever gotten, truly. Anyway, but yes. But speaking of YouTube and Twitch, and as he says that, I'm gonna pause here for a second so he doesn't talk, because I'm sure as soon as I get up there, he's gonna say something maybe. What you have is like that Twitch and YouTube, this culture of look at me, please. Please look at me. Someone say that I'm worth being here. Everyone's trying to find their place and their worth in the universe, and everybody always asks that question, or at least not everybody, but it's obvious that the question's asked: what is our purpose in the universe, and why are we here? Now, to me personally, there is no purpose, and not in this nihilistic way that there is no meaning. I'm just saying that it does not matter. Truly, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say any way. You can say, nope, God is the way, or you can say God isn't the way. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Truly, down to the last bare bones, it doesn't matter. Go ahead. It doesn't. You know. And it doesn't matter truly if you do live for everybody else. If you want everybody to congratulate you and tell you that you're worth something, that you're important, and things like that. We all seek validation in other ways, but everything's being put on the internet. Everything at all times.
Maybe an
People.
off chance
Oh,
that you're playing this. What I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it. You got this far. Feeling frustrated. It's underrated.
oh, I keep doing that. I'm actually not frustrated. Surprise, surprise. It's not just because I'm talking. I genuinely, I've learned. Oh, okay. Anyway, so in my search for self-reflection and betterment, because I'll be honest with you, I was not a great guy. Uh, I wasn't. I have had. Let me pause right here. Nah, I'll just keep going. I have had a lot of roadblocks. When I grew up in a very poor household. No excuses here. I just grew up in a very poor household. I got addicted to drugs at a young age, and I drank. You know, I didn't treat people.
Is sweet, juicy fruit. Want
This
the
orange right here.
bitterness? That's not how I feel about a challenge.
Hold on.
I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit.
I don't want that orange. I gotta focus for this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get up there. Hey! Whoop! Whoop! Mm. Oh! Oh well. Anyway. Ooh. Oh man. I can't remember where I was. Oh, I was basically I know I should have done this without the game and just really because it is something that is important to me. Um, trying to tell people, but I know that it doesn't matter. So that no matter what I say and do, there's just things that you can't control without absolutely getting rid of the overall problem. And I mean, like getting rid of people. As long as someone exists that has a certain way of thought, and that thought will just continue to increase. But I'm talking about natural selection and things like that. But I'm saying like it'll persist. If there is one thought that can exist, there's another thought that can counteract it, and that's always what it's going to be. There's nothing you can do about it, truly, as an individual. And hoping that people will agree with you and think like you can hope for the majority. You can hope that hopefully the majority will see it that way. But just look at your friends, yourself. How many of you desperately need your friends to be constantly available at all times? How many of you that demand that your friends, and I call it demanding because all I see from my own friends is, they'll complain about other friends of theirs that are, oh, their best friend or whatever, and they don't talk to me every day at all times. They don't send their messages back immediately. You want your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, whatever, to talk to you, to always be available at all times. When oh, and you got to post the pictures of your relationship online. You got to make sure that everybody can see that you're happy. Everybody can see that everybody can see every facet of your life, and that you fit, that you are supposed to be here, that you're living the life that Hollywood tells you to live, that people tell you to live. Whoa. Oh, I'm probably going to be stuck on this part again. And that might not be true for everybody's. There's always, facts that there's fun. Oh, and the whole point, what I was saying with that, like, it doesn't matter. I can't, do anything about it. Is that I can hope to change or offer somebody else that might be going through something, their own self-reflection, a bit of food for thought. I don't want them necessarily to think like me. I just want them to have other ways to look at it. Because nobody told me when I was growing up to not live for other people. That was just, not really a conversation. They say it in other ways, like you shouldn't care about what people think, obviously, blah, 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 you know what I mean? But that didn't mean anything because I did care. I cared a lot. It made it hard. You can say that, don't care what people think, but what they think still can affect you. No matter what, how, these others interact with you in your daily life. If everybody's spitting on you at all times, you can say, well, I don't need to care about that. But it doesn't change the fact that you're still getting spit on. But nobody told me just don't live for anybody else. Just don't like that. because I was always trying to fix the problem, fix their thoughts. I shouldn't care what they think, yet I should also still strive to, be better than them, and that perfection is important, or that, I wasn't okay with mediocrity, and I think that a lot of people aren't okay with mediocrity. Everybody wants to be special. Everybody wants to be important. And they might say, "Oh, I don't care about being important." And, "Oh, yeah, people care too much about being important." And yet then they still try to better themselves from other people. Like, for instance, arguments at all times. Every argument that I see, even arguments that I get into with other people, there is someone that is always trying to just be right. It's not about defending your viewpoint and explaining yourself and avoiding that argument. It's about, I am feeling something right now, and it is separate to the importance of anything right now. I'm upset, and that is what's important to me right now. Not my overall point. Those come second to how I'm feeling, And I'll tell you this: nothing is justified in anger. Not a thing. Unless you're protecting yourself, like truly protecting yourself from danger or some kind, either whether it's mental and I mean truly protecting yourself. Maybe, someone's constantly harassing you and you got to be angry, or I don't know. Anger is not this evil thing. Everybody says that hatred and anger are the bastardization of love, and, the overall, they're bad feelings and you should never feel them. No, you can feel angry. You can feel absolutely boggered. I'll tell you this: I have anger issues. Truly, I get very defensive. I have very bad defensive anger problems, and that stems from my inability to protect myself because I was bullied heavily. I was beaten up. I was called names, both racially and just names in general. Kid stuff. And I was a frail, small guy. I wasn't short. I was always an average height. I was always an average guy all the way around. That's always what was funny to me. C student, D's and F's later on, but you know what I mean. Not an idiot, not a fool. But to who? Really? I mean, what's intelligence? What is intelligence? What is anything? What does it matter what I am? That's what I've come to in my life. What does it matter at the end of the day? As long as I'm not treating others poorly. As long as I care. And that's to me. You don't have to listen to me when I say that, yeah, you should return your shopping cart at all times, and you should tip your waitresses. And I'm not going to say that I'm a better person, and I'm not. That doesn't mean anything. Those are just things about me, They're descriptions. I'd say that do I care about wait staff a little bit more than you do? I would say yes. Not in a shaming, I'm better than you sense. It's just a description. Because that's the only reason. Oh, oops. The only reason why I even tip more is because I care. Because it worries me. It's not like, oh, well, you don't care about anybody, or that I have more care in my heart. It's just that this is something that I put more of my ability to care into. It's a hard concept. Basically, I put more of my thoughts of worry. I worry about them more. I worry about this one thing more than you do. And to me, I would just say that, to me, you're not as nice if you don't do that. It's not that you're a bad person objectively to the universe. The universe doesn't have any feelings one way or the other of any action. There is no good or evil in the universe. There are things that happen, and we describe good and evil to those. That is the truth. There are things that we can arguably say are, in a society, more evil than another, and we can pick and choose what we personally believe is much truer evil. But, in arguments, going back to that, it's more about dealing with how you feel rather than what the issue at hand is. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I upset? Reasonably, but I mean, you're not wrong for feeling. You're wrong for your actions, but you're not wrong for feeling a certain way. Even if you feel hurt, dejected, you can't control these things. They just pop up. I'd say that you should get to the bottom of why you feel these things. Like say you have you're in a relationship and your partner comes home pretty late, and you're never. Anytime you come home late, it's an issue. It's always an angry issue and things like that. And in this time, you know for a fact that it's just because they were working late. Truly, you already know that they were working late. But and you attack, not attack, but you you confront them, I should say, about that. Like, why is it that it's an issue that I come in late, but not you? And you both have jobs. It's both the same kind of situation and things like that. He or she gets upset at you. Um, well, he, she, or they. Non-binary people do exist. Um, they get upset at you. I should just say, just they get upset at you because they feel like they're being attacked right now. Rather than not being attacked, it's just like they got off a long shift and things like that. Now, there are people who are more right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, oh, well, you're wrong for feeling, you're wrong for whatever you do, and, you should hash it out at all times. Really get to the bottom of that. The issue isn't you feel mad. That's not the issue. The issue is there is a discrepancy. You are not, that's truly it. Not that you're upset. Not that you're upset because the issue itself is we have a problem that we should address. You are allowed to come in at any time, and there's no anger from me. I don't. It's not that you're allowed to. It's just that I don't give you the same kind of vilification of it. There's not questions. Let's say it's not about cheating. They just don't like you coming in so late. That's it. And maybe it's not a constant occurrence, but it's the fact that they have come in late a couple of times, and it just doesn't seem fair. Now, to them, all they see is that you're upset because they're coming in late. Maybe they can see a little deeper than that, and there's something from that. But how you articulate that, how you tell them that, that's what becomes important. If you just say, "Why are you here late?" or like something like, "Oh, so it's okay for you to come in late?" Well, now it's a no. I never said that. I never said it was okay if I come in late too. Blah blah blah. Back and forth. You're trying to deal with the intense feelings you're having rather than the issue itself. I say have the feelings you're having, feel the way you feel, but work through it if you can, because you can do whatever you want. You can truly do whatever you want. There's nothing that anybody can do to stop you, to make you live any way that isn't true to you. But for your own well-being, in terms of truer happiness, in terms of my opinion, so again, grain of salt, food for thought. Try not to, be right. You shouldn't want to be right. You should want to. I mean, and you can be right. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean. But don't fight for more about winning. It's not about winning the argument. It's not about winning some contest with this other person. There's no competitiveness that needs to be there. And that should go for anything, I don't debate with people. I think debates are foolish in my mind. If I just, unless there's an important reason, like, you want to change the mind of someone else. The whole point of a debate is to change the mind of the listener, the audience. And that's why people say, oh, we should debate. Oh, debate me. That's a thing now, especially on TikTok from the younger crowd. I've seen that, the same thing that happened on Tumblr from a bunch of young kids getting on the internet is happening again with these young teenagers. It happens. It's going to happen. Everybody wants to find themselves and find their political, affiliations and everything. And teenagers feel, a lot stronger than most people say, or rather they have less control over how they feel. Because that's true. The frontal lobe isn't grown until 25. So I still have like a year or two till mine is. Or maybe it is fully grown and I'm just like this. I don't even think it'll change anything, but, anyway. And does that matter? Does the frontal lobe really matter? It just handles the feelings. Anyway, I know. Oh, where is the point? And that's I'm not gonna care anymore. I beat myself up whenever I make these videos, or I used to beat myself up whenever I made videos at all, whenever I was online at all, because I wanted to fully make sure that everybody can understand me. And the point is that not everybody can. And I can hope for the majority. Oh, well, let me make sure that it's the majority of people can understand me. And that's, yeah, sure, I should work for that. And, haha. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but I also don't care if nobody understands me, you know? Not to the point of it affecting my well-being in my mind. You know, I shouldn't call, oh, I'm an idiot. Just go, oh, well, I explain myself right. That's all. And you move on. You know, I don't let shame drive me with anything. I don't have any desire to live a life of wealth and, you know, oh, I'm revered or anything like that. To be honest with you, I've already had the taste of it, you know, in a sense. And it's fine. You know, it's just, again, I'm not coming from a place of supremacy or anything like that, that I am somehow better than other people, or I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying that for me, I don't want to live in this fantasy world where I'm the main character. I'm fine with my mediocrity. Everybody wants to be important, and the fact is that you're only important to yourself. You truly don't matter in the grand scheme of everybody else, and they don't matter to you. Nothing does. You get to pick and choose who matters. That's all. I don't feel shame for anything anymore. And nor do I... Oh, that's a long way down. The reason why I play this game to talk about these issues is because I have anger issues, and for the longest time I thought it was just because I'm an angry person in my heart. I'm evil and I'm wrong. But I have control over my actions. I have control over myself. And it's not that I'm an angry person. The only time that I would get angry, like I've done, is when I would be in a fight. That's the only time, when someone would start yelling. Until that point, when they start yelling at me, I wasn't angry. And I felt more angry with my family than anybody else. I never had the issues of anything else. But I feel like when people don't understand me, you know, and I'm being, you know, like for instance, when I was in the relationship I was in, I always felt like whenever it was a attack on my character, it would hurt more. And that's it. I'm just that bullied kid that was trying to defend himself too much. Now I'm an adult, so that's not going to fly. I mean, you can whine and complain about how you were bullied all your life, but at some point you're going to have to get over it and stop treating people like crap. You know, realize if you're hurting others. Yeah, nice. Whoop. Wow, I like to get into rhythm. But much like the grind against yourself and the grind against your mind, it's like this little silly game. Climbing this mountain, falling back down, trying again. And I thought that I would be angry with this game. I thought that I would, and I even set a little goal. Oh, I want to make sure that I just don't get angry at this game. And in the beginning, I did try a little hard to not get frustrated. And to be honest, at first I was. Very briefly, I was. But overall, I decided I didn't care. I didn't care about losing. I didn't care about this. I changed as I played the game. Not as I played the game, but, you know, over the years of just... This came out, I don't even know. Not even that long ago. I don't remember. I don't know time. I don't keep up with things. But bottom line, I just oh, wow, wow. I change as a person as this game has existed, you know, and my worldview has changed how I've reacted to the world around me, and I don't care about failure. I don't care about anything. The only thing I worry about is failing my son, and that's just because of my love for him. I worry for him. It's not an anger. It's not a shame. Just a genuine care of, oh, I hope that I can give him things, and I would like to, and I get frustrated with that because I want to give him more, you know. But outside of that, I don't live for anyone. I don't need to care that I don't upload to this, and I'm not going on my goal of, oh well, I should upload to this, and you know, oh well, maybe it's my personality that's jarring, and maybe I should try to keep people entertained a little bit more because that would help with my goals of this and that. That's no, I don't edit my videos. You can probably hear the sounds of my fish tank and um, my fan, and you know, I do want crisp sound for sure, just because it's not nicer to listen to, and I don't. Again, I'm not in a bubble. I'm not going to live in a bubble where, well, I don't care, so that means that nobody should. You know, you got to work for the things you want. You can't just expect to go through life being like, meh, it doesn't matter, and then expect anything to change. For sure. But in the same sense, I'm not going to try harder than I want, and I don't care if I don't get anywhere because of it. I'm not going to put in, because there's no virtue. Everybody thinks it's a virtue to work to the bone and to the blah blah blah, and oh, you'll make it. Well, sometimes you don't, and it's exactly the same. You can work really hard and not make it, and not work at all and still make it, and it all just comes down to single factors. And I think that truly, it's up to you, who you are, how lucky you are, and how much work you do put in. Again, I'm not saying that, oh, well, don't put any work in, but if it's draining, then just don't do it. I've been a lazy guy my whole life. I didn't do homework. That's the entire reason why I had bad grades, is because I just didn't want to do homework. I didn't want to do it. I scored very well in tests. I could pay attention. It's just memory, retention, and application. But, you know, I still struggled with other things. I retook geometry a couple of times just because, you know, I didn't do anything. I failed the class, you know. Oh, ah, dang. Where was I going with that? Not living for blah blah blah. Oh, but yeah, I've been a lazy guy because of out of comfort. I prefer doing things at my own pace, and while it doesn't matter if it pays off or not, it's my decision. And if it does pay off, there's nothing that I'm going to say, well, there you go, I was right and everyone's wrong. I might joke about it, you know, I might joke and say that because I think it's funny, you know, say things like that, but because it is a funny thing, like, oh, look, I didn't have to really, I, they did say, oh, well, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't, you know, apply yourself in school, if you don't go to a good college, if you don't do this and you don't do that. You don't want to end up in a nasty blue-collar job. Whoa, the evilness of a blue-collar job. Oh, no. As if work isn't work. As if there's any shame in blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what's funny about capitalism, is that that's the shame. The shame that comes from this classist society, that somehow you're a part, an integral part. There is a job that needs to be done. You fill that job, and yet somehow you should feel ashamed for your life. You should feel ashamed, as if you are only your job. Oh, shoot. And nothing else. Oh, I keep doing that by accident, like propelling myself. You aren't. You aren't your job. You aren't your failures. You're not this. You're not that. You really aren't your successes either. You are just here. There is nothing for anything. You are not special. You are not worthless. You just are. You can apply your own meaning. You want to feel special? Feel special. You want to feel worthless? I'm sorry. I really am. And it's not like mind over matter, mental illness exists, but you know what I'm saying. Like, just know that I think the most comforting thing that I've ever felt is that living this life of accepting, and not feeling too like, because they would, teachers would always. I always had a teacher that liked me, and really wanted to, help me. Oh, I was their project, I guess. Good on them. They just cared. Um, but I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do the work. I didn't want to do anything that I didn't want to do. And so I won't. I'm not going to fake any part of me. I'm going to accept whatever comes as it comes. Ooh. Whoop. Ah, dang. I think I think there's a way to like use this to catapult and get up a certain other part. I saw it on online once. Oh well. Well, I'll go ahead and end this here. I can talk about it in depth another time, but I'll just finish up with some statements. I don't ever care if I beat this game. I don't ever care if I do anything in my life. I don't care where I end up. I worry about my son because that's another person. I'm not in a bubble. But ultimately, nothing will make me feel bad as long as I am happy. And that's what you should do. Stop living, in my opinion, living for other people. Stop living to appease other people. Stop trying to find some meaning, or keep going, whatever. Do what you want to do, but just I think the most important thing is at least care a lot about self-reflection. You know, getting really into your own mind. The reason why a lot of people need therapy is because they lack self-reflection and often need a outer voice to be their inner voice. They need someone else to be there to talk to them because they never question anything in their life. They never question their actions. I've questioned every action I've ever had all the time. I'm questioning saying that right now because I feel like it's coming off as pompous and as if I don't need therapy, and that's not what I'm saying. It's always good to have that voice in your head. Most people try to shut it up as, oh, well, that's just uncertainty and being bad at decisions. Oh, yeah. I don't ever decide things. I don't care. I don't care to. If you ask me where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, I wouldn't really, I'd say whatever, man. Whatever you want to do, you know? I do enjoy my time and alone, and so I'd probably want to do that, but, if I was going to go hang out with you, I don't care what we were going to do. See? And I ramble. And I still somewhat feel obligated to not ramble so much, but and be more concise in my ideas because I feel like it might point across more. But you know what? If you want to listen, you're gonna listen either way. And if you can gain anything out of this, maybe you don't gain anything that I'm saying, you gain something else that's important to you. Well, good. That's great. I'm glad, man. Get whatever you need. Life is to live, and it's better if you're not living to fit into some role because you're already here. There's nothing. Your life isn't worthless, and it doesn't have meaning at the same time. You're already here. Why don't live to justify a life that you already have? The justification for your life came when you were birthed, when you realized you were here. You just are here, So I don't know, but you guys have a good day. I'll try to remember to be more active on YouTube, but I'll be honest with you, I'll probably upload very rarely because that's just the kind of person I am. It's not because I avoid this or that I have some fear of this or that I lack the initiative and drive. It's because, dude, it doesn't matter. I am living a life. I am living the life that I have. And so far, I've gotten much better become much better of a person. And you know what? I was blinded. I thought that I was a good person. I really did. I truly did. And yet, there was a lot of damage that I didn't know that was there, and a lot of, cognitive dissonance that I didn't pay attention to. And I made excuses for myself, but life goes on. You change. I'd like to right my wrongs with other people if I've ever affected them, and if I've ever made them uncomfortable, if I've ever done anything, that hurts them or anything like that, because I've been an angry guy. I've thrown things, not at people. I'm not like, don't worry, I'm not like, not like in relationships. I'm actually a very timid guy because I'm afraid of, like, because I'm bigger than everyone that I've dated, and I don't really like relationships. That's another thing. One last final thought: I don't like relationships. I don't care for them. Not because, oh well, they're not important. I just don't. I am damaged when it comes down, in my opinion, to loving people. I don't really feel that deep emotional bond, and nor do I have any interest in it. I think that, I like being alone. I like being who I am. I like experiencing it all by myself. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, it's all right. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you take care of yourself, and I hope that you do have that inner voice and stop pushing it away. Question everything you do. You can have confidence and question what you have confidence in at the same time. You can go, I am sure of this, but, never hurts. Stop caring how people perceive you. Stop trying to be the big bad guy. Stop trying to be the big tough guy. Stop trying to be the big smart guy. Just, who cares? Put it down. Relax. This is all stupid anyway. Live. Anyway, you have a good day. Love you all. Be kind. Oh, I forgot. My mic's connected. Or my mouse is connected. Haha. Bye.